Day 1007. It's almost 11 p.m. Just got home. Dropped my mom off. We went downtown, and I just had the idea to go to the top of this parking garage that's right down the street from my church, because the top of it is just open, and you get a 360-degree view of this whole city. And I thought, man, that could be a cool place to go see all the fireworks go off. So we went there, and we were able to walk on top of the helipad. So we were just completely up 15 or 16 stories high, and got to see hundreds of fireworks shows going off. They were all over the place. It was crazy. And we were up there for about an hour, and it was awesome. And then dropped my mom off, and just feel like 4th of July kind of makes me feel sad. I have some memories of it that just don't feel very good from relationship stuff. And so yeah, today's been a challenge. And I was just thinking as I was standing there watching the fireworks, my heart is so closed to women, it's ridiculous. Just so closed. And I had 3 people mention me finding my wife at church on Sunday. One of the guys who's prophesied over me before, who's just such an amazing man of God and just spot on every time. He said it, and then a pastor came and said, God has a word for you. And then 2 of my friends, and it was just I was just thinking about that when I was driving home. I was like, as much as I want to believe that God, I don't know if that woman exists. I cannot imagine opening my heart to another woman the way that I have in the past. Just seems impossible. She would have to be the most trustworthy, loving, pure, just woman that I've ever met in my life, which I've never met anyone that I think would even come close to that. The standards that I have now are so ridiculous. They seem almost impossible. She would just have to be so connected to God, so in love with Jesus, and just have such a strong moral compass and such strong values and so much integrity and honesty. For me to open my heart to her, I just have never met a woman like that before in my life. And it seems like it's a fairy tale. A woman like that, a trustworthy woman, seems non-existent, because all I've ever been with are women that I couldn't trust, and I wasn't the most trustworthy either. So it's not just them, but yeah, it just seems as nice as that would be, it just seems impossible. But all things are possible with God. But I just cannot imagine opening my heart to another woman. Just literally seems impossible. Ever since Araceli and I broke up, my heart has been so close to women, it's crazy. Just stone cold steel wall. Doesn't matter who they are. So yeah, just thinking about that today, just literally feels impossible. But on Sunday, one of my pastors came and said God gave him that word. Your wife is on the way, but God's working on your heart. So God would have to tear down some serious walls, and it seems impossible. I just could never imagine trusting another woman again with my heart. No freaking way. Literally, it's almost feels like a joke, laughable, not a chance. Not falling for that crap again. I've never dated a woman that I could trust my heart with. And so it's just gotten just destroyed again and again and again. And It's just like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 25 times, really, really shame on me. So it just feels like, nah, not that stupid. Not gonna do that again. Like, not jaded, but just like hopeless. Like, it feels hopeless that there's actually a good woman out there that is honest and trustworthy that I could fall in love with and spend the rest of my life with. Like, just seems like impossible. Like, yeah, impossible. Only God can do it. And she would just have to be like so it. She would just have to be like so the one for me to even consider letting my walls down a little bit. Like, just to even consider letting them down a little bit. She would have to be so different than any woman that I've ever met before in my life. Like, so just different. I think the only thing that could even make that remotely possible, she would just have to be so in love with God and just so committed to God and so have so much integrity and she just had to be a woman I've never met before. And it just seems like impossible. Like, that kind of woman doesn't exist in this world, because I've never met one. And so, yeah, it's just like, yeah, I know God is saying all this, but the doubt, and I know I'm not supposed to doubt God, and he used 3 or 4 people on Sunday to tell me she's on her way. And it's just like, yeah, that'd be nice, but I'm not ready for that. No way. My heart's way too closed. I have way too massive of walls around my heart for a woman to come and tear them down. Like, there's no way. There's no woman on this planet that could tear these walls down, is what it feels like. So if she is on her way, she would have to be one of a kind and someone like no one I've ever met before in my life. There would just have to be something about her that would just like allow me to trust her. It's like she'd have to be an angel. Like, there's no, or perfection, I don't know. Like, yeah. So yeah, just feeling meh. But it was amazing. Like, it was like a back and forth of emotions. Like, I was so happy that, you know, I was with my mom and we're having this really cool experience. And right before I went to pick her up, I just got on my knees and prayed, and I just thanked Jesus. Like, man, thank you for saving her soul, God. Thank you so much, because knowing what I know now, had she died back then, I would have known that my mom would spend eternity in hell, eternity disconnected from God, eternity in the darkness, eternity in suffering, and that just would have been so devastating for me. It would have been the most devastating thing in the world. And so I was just like thanking God, and I was just in tears, just thanking God, like, thank you for saving her soul. Thank you so much. And so there's so much joy in that. And then, you know, taking her, she's so excited. I love how excited she is about life now. It's just amazing and infectious. And, you know, we walk up to the top of the parking garage and then walk up on top of the helipad. And it was just like one of the coolest, it was the coolest 4th of July experience I've ever had. Like, standing on top of a 15 or 16 story building on top of the helipad, no walls around us, just with a 360-degree view, and there's hundreds of like fireworks going off just all around us, like thousands going. It was just like, it looked like there were hundreds of fireworks shows going off. And my mom was just so happy and so alive and so excited, and I told her how proud of her I am, and here she is, like, she's alive. She had to go through a lot of death to get to this point, but she's alive. And and she's here. And it was just like so much gratitude for that. And then on the other side, like so much sadness for just the memories of this day and things that have happened in the past, and the heartbreak, and just the things that I realized like I'm not healed from. I've forgiven, but I haven't healed from them. Like my heart is still hurt, and still like there's no good women out there. There's no women that I can actually trust. So this whole my wife's on the way thing is cool and cute, but let's be real. Yeah, it would literally be like she'd have to be an angel for these walls to come down. And I didn't even realize that until today. How tall the walls are that I've built. And it just feels like my heart is wrapped in 20-inch steel that nothing can get through. No woman on this planet could get through. So, yeah. Which is pretty sad and disappointing and discouraging to just know that, like, that my heart could be that close to women. And it didn't used to be. It was just relationship after relationship after relationship, and lies and after lies after lies, and cheating after cheating after cheating, and deceiving after deceiving after deceiving. It's just like, and then just me opening my heart and opening my heart. And then just my last relationship, that was just like, that was a kicker. Like I never opened my heart so much to someone before, a woman that I dated like before in my life. And yeah, didn't go so well. So I feel like that was just like the straw that broke the camel's back. That was the one where it was like, all right, never again. I didn't even realize all this stuff till today. So if she's on her way, like everyone says, then when she comes along, she'll have to be like no one I've ever met before in my life. There will just have to be something so different about her that would just seems impossible, like a fairy tale. No way. Please God, I hope so, but just being honest, you know that I don't believe it. But it just sucks to actually get present and feel how jaded I am, and how hurt my heart really is from all these relationships. It's just sad. It's a sad feeling. But I'm sure it'll be a testimony. I know God can do it, and I believe He will. It's hard to believe that woman actually exists, because she would just have to be so perfect for me. Not perfect, but perfect for me to get through. Like, she would literally just have to be created by God for me, and me for her. She would have to be my soulmate. She would have to be the one woman that was created for me, and I'd have to be the one man that was created for her, and we would just have to be like a perfect fit. It would just have to be like, it could only be perfection. Like, that's the only thing I can imagine that could tear these walls down and break through to my heart. Which just seems like, yeah. And I feel like if that woman exists, like I would know it the moment I met her. It would just be like a knowing. And I even think about like dating someone, and it just seems like the amount of effort. And now, like with where my heart is with this, like I'd have to date her for like 5 years before I'd consider marrying her. Like, no, I gotta get to know who you really are. Like, who are you really? Like, really, 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 like, who are you in the best of times and the worst of times? Like, everyone can act for a certain amount of time, but like, who's the real you? And I'd have to live with them first. Like, I've learned that you don't know someone until you live with them. That's a rude awakening. So it's like, I'd have to date them for 4 or 5 years. I'd have to live with them and see them go through like the hardest time of their life to see who they really are underneath it all. And it just seems like impossible. Like, no. Because even if I saw all of that, it would probably, like in my eyes, it would be like, it would reveal that, yeah, they're not the right person for me, or they're not a trustworthy person, or nah, we're not going to work out. So yeah, it just seems like impossible. And then there's the part of me that's hopeful, a very, very small 1% of me that is hopeful of like, oh, when I meet her, I'll know. And in 3 to 5 months, we'll be married. But that's like 1% of me. 99% of me is like, not a chance. Date 4 or 5 years. She'd have to go through some crazy hard stuff so I could see who she really is underneath it all. And we'd have to live together so I could see who she is really, not just when we hang out, but who are you all the time, not just some of the time. Because people are really good at acting, but when you live with someone, you see behind the scenes, you see behind the curtains, and it can be very shocking. So yeah, just a hard realization to come to today. A sad realization. I didn't realize my heart was so closed. I didn't realize that there was so much hopelessness. It's probably why I've put absolutely no effort into pursuing women or trying to find a woman to date. Like in the past, when I would break up with someone, like so much of my energy and effort would be finding the next girl to date. So I've been in back-to-back relationships for like 15 years with a very, very small gaps in between of being single. It would just be like moving on to the next, finding someone else. And this is the first time that it's been like, no, not at all. And just my standards are so different now. Like, even girls at church, it's like none of them come even close to someone that I would look at like twice, like spiritually. You know, there's a lot of beautiful girls there, but I've dated beautiful girls, and it's like that's great and everything, but I'm looking for their spirit. Like, spiritually, who are they? And it's like, no, the expectations I have just seem impossible. Which is crazy. Like, it seems impossible. My expectations seem impossible. And really, I'm just looking for someone who has integrity and who's trustworthy and honest. And just someone that you could trust your heart with. Just a good person that you could trust your heart with. And it just seems like that's an impossible expectation, like an impossible thing to find. in this world. Yeah, I gotta pray and ask God to help me with this, to heal all of this stuff, because yeah, I just feel jaded, like, screw it, screw this. No. You know what? If I'm single the rest of my life, it's all good. I got eternity in heaven, and I won't care if I'm single or not up there. So, just, yeah. God help me. Lord help me. Because this seems impossible. And watch God do it. Watch him do it anyway. Because that's just the kind of God we have, the God of the impossible. Oh, it'll be a miracle. She will be a miracle. She'd have to be a miracle to get through this steel wall of a heart that I now have. Only a miracle could get through it. Literally feels impossible. There's nothing in this world that I can think of that feels more impossible than that. Dang, that sucks. Whew, God, help me. Help me, God. Do the impossible. Please. Wow. That's messed up. How discouraging and disappointing and hopeless that is. Wow, I didn't realize. No wonder I've been so, like, wanting to be single, avoiding anything that has to do with women. Dang. There's a lot of pain underneath all that. A lot of brokenheartedness, a lot of broken trust. Wow. Well, God, I hope you heal my heart. Because I don't even know where to begin with that. And feel like I don't even want to. It's like it feels like I have this, like, perspective, like, screw all women. Not like I don't like women or anything, but just like, screw all dateable women. Like, nah, forget dating women. I mean, I'm not into dating guys, so forget dating, period. But, like, no. And especially out here in LA, gosh. I've heard from so many friends that are guys who've tried to date, and they're like, dating women in LA is impossible. LA women are impossible. And I just see things, you know, and it's just like, man. And just the standards I have, like, she's got to be so in love with God. She's has to have so much integrity and such a strong moral compass, and just like even physically, like, I could never imagine dating a girl. Like, if I go to her Instagram and she's got, like, her boobs out, her butt out, like, posting pictures of this and that, like, I just have no respect for that anymore. Like, in the past, it was like, yeah, go for it. And now it's just like, no, like, I want a woman that, like, has a different level of integrity and, like, respect and honor for her physical body. And it's not like she wants the world to see it so she can get likes or comments or attention from men or something. It's like I have no interest in a woman like that. Like, yeah, it literally seems impossible. Like she doesn't exist. Yeah, totally hopeless. Totally hopeless. Maybe that's why I don't even search, because it's like I don't believe she exists. So what's the point? Just wasting my time. It would only be for sex, because there's no way I'm opening my heart to anyone, and I'm not going to become one flesh with someone with any of these crazy women. Like, no way. I'm not subjecting my spirit to that crap now that I know what the Bible says about having sex with someone. So yeah. God help me, because I am hopeless and helpless. I'm over it. I'm over women. So over it. Anyway, this is a long venting session. So, but I had to get it out. I feel much better. Much, much better. And it just seems like laughable to me. Just like one big joke. Like, oh, my wife's on the way. Right. The impossible woman, the woman that doesn't exist, the perfect woman, a trustworthy woman, doesn't exist. No. Nope. Please, God, prove me wrong.